So there met him, I'm going to go with the both from Matthew instead of there met him a man. Luke says there met him out of the city a certain man. So out of the city. Well, that's weird. I thought he was in a cave. Luke says out of the city. Mark says there met him out of the tombs. Matthew, there met him two possessed with devils coming out of the tombs. Okay, so Matthew and Mark say tombs. I'm going to go with tombs. Mark is the most descriptive about this. How can you say there met a man out of the city, Luke? There met him out of the city a certain man which had devils long time and wear no clothes, neither abode in any house. Okay, but in tombs. So he lives in the tombs, but maybe he at that moment was in the city? Mark, there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit. That's weird. That's so weird. There met him out of the tombs. So maybe I could just say, yes, he lived in the tombs, but at that moment, according to Luke, he was coming out of the city. So I could have both. I could have the tombs from Matthew and Mark where he dwells, but from Luke, he's just then coming out of the city, perhaps. There met him two possessed with devils coming out of the city. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I don't want to leave that out. I'm going to put that in there. There met him out of the. Mark, there met him out of the. Both. Matthew, there met him coming out of the. Okay, so out of the, that's from all three. They're just out of order according to Matthew. Out of the. And then Luke only, city. And I will include the tombs as it's mentioned in Luke later on. And I'll say that that's from all three. I might just have to follow with only how Luke relays the information now because I put that introduction from Luke. I might not be able to skip around. A certain man. Mark met him out of the tombs. A man. So, a man, both. Matthew, there met him two possessed with devils coming out of the tombs. Oh, okay. Coming out of the... I already put out of the... So, coming out of the tombs? No, okay, see, this is irreconcilable. Matthew, it says, there met him two possessed with devils coming out of the tombs. At that moment, they're coming out of the tombs. Luke says there met him out of the city. Out of the city, a certain man which had devils long time and wore no clothes, nor abode in any house, but in the tombs. Okay, so that explanation that he wore no clothes, neither abode in any house, but in the tombs, that's only in Luke. Mark just says the man with unclean spirit who had his dwelling among the tombs. Okay, so he had his dwelling in the tombs. That's similar. Neither abode in any house, but had his dwelling in the tombs. I could do that. And no man could bind him. So that's also another explanation added in Mark. No man could bind him, no, not with chains, because he had often bound with fetters and chains have been plucked asunder. They met him out of the city. Okay, I can't say a certain man, because I don't know how to put two. I can't say two certain men. Well, could I? Two certain men who were demon-possessed? Two certain men which had devils long time. There met him two certain men possessed with devils. Yeah, I'm not just going to say had devils long time. I'm going to say possessed with devils long time. So two from Matthew only. Oh, I can't put men, because Matthew only says there met him two possessed with devils. It doesn't say men, it just says two. So I'd have to leave out certain. Mark says there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit. Okay, well that I can just ignore, because later on, still in Mark, it says, we are many. So it's not just an unclean spirit. I can put possessed with devils from Matthew. But can I say two? Luke, out of the city, two which had devils. Well, not just which had. I'm going to have to leave out a certain man. Two with an unclean spirit. No, I just have to leave all the rest of the second half of Mark 5:2 as well. Matthew 2. So I just have to go with possessed with devils. And there's no and, so I can't say possessed with devils and an unclean spirit. Luke, which had devils long time, and wear no clothes. So I'm just going to have to go with possessed with devils. Two possessed with devils. Matthew continues saying they're in the tombs, but I already mentioned they're coming out of the city, so I can go right into exceeding fierce so that no man might pass by that way. And then it goes right into them speaking to Jesus. So there's only one explanation: exceeding fierce so that no man might pass that way. Exceeding fierce. But that is greatly expanded in Mark. No man could bind him. I could say exceeding fierce and no man could bind him. No, not with chains, because he had been also bound with fetters. Neither could any man tame him. Neither could any man tame him. Then I could go back to Matthew. So that no man might pass that way. And always night and day he was in the mountains and the tombs, crying and cutting himself with stones. That's where I can end. Okay, Luke, devils, long time. That's what I could put. If I could say a long time, I'd really like to do that. So I could say immediately there met him out of the tombs a man. I'm not saying tombs, a man with an unclean spirit. Maybe I could use that A from Mark 5:2, just so that it reads a little bit easier in Luke. Two possessed with devils a long time. Maybe? Yeah, I'm going to do that. Devils from Matthew, from Mark, and then from Luke, long time. Now, after a long time, Mark, unclean spirit, who had his dwelling among the tombs. I have to put that he had his dwelling among the tombs. Who abode in any... Okay, I can put that next. Now I'm going to finish with and wear no clothes, neither abode in any house. And then instead of but in tombs, I'll put from Mark, had his dwelling among the tombs. Instead of but in the tombs, it would be but had his dwelling among the tombs. What does Matthew say? Coming out of the tombs. That's it. So yeah, I'm just going to go with that. Still Luke only. And wear no clothes. Oh wait, this would be both. Oh no, because it's still, I started with both, but this is only explaining one. I don't know if they both wore no clothes, neither abode in any house. I think I know what I can do. I could say there met him out of the city two possessed with devils, And then I can go back and say, and a certain man which had devils a long time and wore no clothes, neither abode in any house. So then I would go back, yes, there's both two possessed with devils and a certain man, one of them. Or I could say, and just a certain. So that would be like saying one of them. A certain which had devils a long time and wear no clothes. Would that work? Could I more clearly distinguish between the two? Because I only want to say that all these explanations are being attributed to one of them, the main guy, because it's not clear that all these explanations are for both. However, from Matthew, exceeding fierce so that no man might pass that way, that could be both. So I'm going to put that before a long time and wore no clothes. So 2 men possessed with devils, and before coming out of the tombs, I'm just going to go right into exceeding fierce. So that no man might pass that way. And I'll stop there. Before I get to, they cried out, saying, what have we to do with you? I'm going to go into the rest of the explanation, but all these explanations from Mark and Luke are only attributed to one of them. So I have to say that somehow I'm now only talking about one. Luke has the word certain, so I could say a certain, like I was saying earlier, which had devils a long time. I don't know if it would work if I said a certain man, because that might lead you to believe there's 3. 2 possessed with devils, exceeding fierce so that no might pass that way, and a certain man which had devils a long time. That might seem like a third, but if I say and a certain without the man, that might keep the understanding from the 2, so now you're just whittling it down to 1. Unless there's something I could do that's better, I might have to go with that. A man there met him out of the city. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to go with that. A man, a certain. Is there an and somewhere? Pass that way. Maybe I could just use the and from the beginning of 29. And then over to Luke, a certain. Skip man, just because I think it might help with the understanding that it's only one of the 2. I'm just gonna go with it. Now, which had devils a long time. Mark, with an unclean spirit. Maybe I could put that after and a certain with an unclean spirit, which had devils a long time. Yeah, I can do that. With an unclean spirit, which had devils a long time, and wear no clothes. Now, neither abode in any house, but now I'm going to go back to Mark. But who had his dwelling? 2 possessed with devils, exceeding fierce, pass that way, and a certain with an unclean spirit. It still seems like this is a third. And a certain with an unclean spirit which had devils. It seems like a third. I don't know what to do. Let me just finish and see if it works. But who, I'm going to go with the who at the beginning, had his dwelling among the tombs, I think is both. in the tombs. Yeah. So the tombs is Mark and Luke. The tombs. But now I can have the tombs from Matthew as well. Out of the tombs. So yeah, the tombs is gray actually.